At the end of the last episode, I told you guys we were going to do a wilderness discovery episode, and that is exactly what we are going to be doing today. We're going to be diving deep into every single part of the wilderness that seems obscure, and we're going to find out why is it there and what does it have to offer. The wilderness has pretty much been around since the initial release of the game. It's always played a huge role, and actually at one point, it served one of the biggest challenges for players. However, over the years, this area has seen a lot of development, and I believe that it won't stop because the wilderness is such a staple part of the game. What I'm here for and what I'm interested in is the old content left behind the new updates, and that is exactly why we're here today. When your account is restricted to one area of the game, nothing is truly dead content if you can utilize it. For the progression of my account, two skills that are very important are Thieving and Herblore. Because of some recently made discoveries, I'm going to talk about Thieving first. Since episode 1, I thought of Thieving as an irrelevant skill to my account. The only way I could get Thieving up was to lamp to 23 and then picklock this magic axe hut door until I was able to pickpocket rogues at 32 Thieving. Although one problem still stood in the way. I actually needed a lockpick to train via the magic axe hut door, and the only way to get one would be to pickpocket rogues, which would require 32 Thieving to be lamped, which would make this method irrelevant anyways. If only there was a way to train my account's Thieving without having to break any of the restrictions. As most of you know, to get your Thieving level up from 1, you have to pickpocket men or women around Runescape, which give 8 EXP per pickpocket and 3 coins. Will I be making the exception of pickpocketing the Edgeville men? No. Like I said earlier, content that might seem dead to a normal account might just be very useful for mine, which is why the answer to the thieving problem lies in the Forgotten Cemetery. Okay, so apparently there's a man in the cemetery. I don't believe it, but no way. No, it's such a random place. Wait, what? That clip was actually quite some time ago, but I've never really gotten around to training Thieving. I wanted to leave it for this whole discovery episode, but yes, there is a level 2 man in the cemetery where the Ankus live. I do not believe it. This is crazy because this actually changes a lot. This means we don't actually have to lamp Thieving. We can simply just pickpocket this man to level 32 to unlock rogues, and from there, the content gets extremely spicy. Now, pickpocketing might seem like a simple task, but this man is surrounded by a bunch of Ankus who want to kill me, and it seems that every time I lure him away and fail a pickpocket, he just walks back to the Ankus, which will just attack me if I try to pickpocket him again. So my first strategy going about this was to wind strike him away from the Ankus, pickpocket him, but as you can see, wasn't really working out. For those who don't know, if you stay within an area of aggressive monsters for 15 minutes, after a 15-minute period, they actually stop attacking you, which is why I am going to flick an Anku for 15 minutes. Or even better, I just found this clutch safe spot that traps 3 monsters behind this tombstone. Now I can just sit here for 15 minutes, chill out, hop worlds after the 15 minutes, and then start pickpocketing the man. Okay, now we just hop worlds, check if we are de-aggroed. Yes, there it is. Now we can just pickpocket this guy all the way until rogues, which is 32 thieving. We're going to be getting around 3 to 5k EXP an hour, so it should only take like 2.5 hours here. Alright, so I missed the level pop, typical of me, but there it is, 32 thieving. We can now go to the rogues. We made 6.1k cash, if you guys were wondering how much money you get from 1 to 32 thieving on men. It's a sword. So now the next step is getting a picklock, which is a rare from pickpocketing the rogues. We're going to fail so many times here, so if we got a picklock and we went to go train on one of the picklocking doors, it would actually help us because we could get our thieving level up at a consistent rate without having to burn a lot of food taking damage. The nice thing about yo, let's go! We just got a like 4th pickpocket on these. I was going to say the nice thing about these is you can literally just left click them, because if you hide your attack option, it allows you to left click them. But there is the lockpick, which is just the first step in the weird discoveries of thieving. So the magic axe hut door that we talked about earlier requires a picklock, and gives 23 thieving when done successfully. Now, it's very easy to successfully do this, and you can actually spam in and out, giving 23 consistent thieving experience without having to fail. Since we fail at the rogues so often, we would have to burn so much food because we take so much damage, but here, if we just wear 3 defensive items, these magic axes that get the hit on us when we do a successful attempt will almost never hit us, plus it is a consistent 20k thieving XP. Now, the other door that you can picklock is the Pirate's Hideout, which is just dead content in itself. It requires 39 thieving, which would generate more EXP per hour each picklock. In the middle of the hideout, there's a table with half a red berry pie. Very interesting. Plus, there are also 4 chests that lie within the Pirate's Hideout, which are picklockable, and I want to know what they do. So we have come to the unrestricted worlds, which basically gives you a max account with no restrictions, and we are going to research these chests to find what they give. Alright, so we get 35 EXP for picklocking that door, which is actually very nice. Should be some nice EXP per hour. The first chest gives 80 XP and 10 gold. Alright, so the second chest seems to be exactly the same. And the third one, what does it give? Oh, a nature rune and 3 gold. Wait, there's actually a nature rune chest in the wilderness. That is so cool. And the fourth chest, 125 thieving EXP and 50 gold. Wait, that might just be better than picklocking the door. But yeah, in total, from one round of the chests, it's 73 gold and 1 nature rune. You might have noticed that there are some chests in the magic axe hut as well. I went to thieve these, and in fact, they're nothing special. They just give 10 gold and 7.5 thieving XP every successful attempt. Now, thieving doesn't stop there. I've left the most important part of content for the end, which is the Rogue's Castle. Not only did I make one weird discovery in this place, but this area might actually be the most important area for my account. So it is back to the unrestricted worlds to do some research. I actually stumbled into another YouTuber named Rarg. Pretty sure he's recording an area restricted challenge. He thinks I'm gonna kill him. Oh my god, I don't think he knows. If you're watching, man, I love the series. But without further ado, guys, let's talk about the Rogue's Castle, because there is a lot to talk about here. The first thing you guys might have noticed, and I immediately noticed, was the amount of gold ore there is here. If we bring a looting bag, we can simply just loot these, which will be super useful to get gold bars when we can smith them. The next thing I immediately noticed was probably the most random cooking range in the entire game. The only theory I could come up with for this cooking range was these fishing spots that were actually south of the Rogue's Castle. Unfortunately, I can't use these as a harpoon and lobster net are not available in the wilderness, but man, if I could get one of those items, we could be set for food and actually use this cooking range. Moving on, let's talk about these chests that are spread around the Rogue's Castle. These are probably one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. You'll notice here that I open the chest, search it, and I get 5 death runes, but around 90% of the time, if not more, when you open the chest, it'll just say that it's empty. At first I thought that these chests were just a one-time thing for each account. When you open them, you just get 5 death runes, but I was completely wrong. And I decided to just spam click this chest, and oh my god, I just made the best discovery ever. Wait, what? You get natures as well? What's the point of a nature rune chest when I can just spam click this one? Oh, you can get bloods as no. Oh my, I thought I was gonna have to kill lava dragons or something for blood runes or evidence. You can just get them here, spam clicking a chest. So yeah, the verdict is these chests all have the exact same drop rate, which are, I believe, 1 to 5 of either a death rune, a blood rune, a nature rune, and a 20 to 25 coin drop, which seems to be rather uncommon. The runes are much more common. This is so good, like this is just an infinite death rune supply at absolutely no cost. I can literally just spam click this to my heart's content and just have free magic dart by just getting death runes here, and I don't have to spend money at the shop. To make sure I didn't miss anything, I went through all the chests and did about 20 minutes each, and they are all the same. Alright, don't judge me, but after that discovery of the chest, guys, I came over here and I saw these sacks that you could actually search. Yeah, I spam clicked every single one for 15 minutes just to make sure I'm not missing anything. I hope you guys can understand. Okay, I think it's safe to say these do not give you anything. On the second floor, there's actually another gold ore spawn and 3 more of these chests. They're actually coded the exact same, so we don't have to worry about these. Alright, on the very top floor, there's an iron dagger on the floor, another gold ore, and 2 more sacks. God damn it, I have to click these. And these as well do not give anything. Alright, so that is most of the rogue's castle down. But now let's get to the most exciting and spicy part of the castle. Some of you probably already guessed it, but it is rogue chests, which require 84 thieving to actually unlock. But the loot they give is just too good. Every single drop on this entire list is just so good for my account. A nice supply of food with tunas, mind runes, death runes, chaos runes, a bunch of gems and ores, but the most important one is the 10 shark rare drop. Not having to rely on getting manta rays from revenants is such a nice bonus because now I can just get a constant supply of sharks from these chests. Although it won't be easy, and the grind to 84 thieving only using rogues will be very long. Now when you attempt to actually thieve this chest, all of the level 100 plus rogues actually try to attack you, so I thought this actually wouldn't be viable until I found a way to trap the Team Cape seller in this very specific spot that blocks all of the rogues and allows you to actually thieve the chest without taking any damage. I did this by simply just talking to him and then walking right beside the chest, and he just doesn't seem to leave. And that basically concludes the thieving part of this discovery episode. Thieving is a huge part of my account, and I'm just glad that I can finally start training it and get to the good stuff. Alright, so we are just 1 lamp away from 5 crafting, which will be insane for this account, because we can finally start making jewelry like strength amulets, sapphire necklaces, and they will be very useful for this account. So what I'm going to do is sit here at Chaos Druids until I actually get a genie random, and I'm not leaving until I get one, so we can finally finish lamping this skill. Plus, we're going to discuss a bit of herb lore and a weird discovery I made on it, and Chaos Druids are a staple part of that skill as they give herbs, vials of water, snape grass for prayer potions, just a whole bunch of good stuff. And we have a lot of herb lore to get to. I mean, just look at the amount of herbs in my bank. It's insane. Like, I've just done so many Chaos Druids. Oh, 1 in 12 chance for a genie. And we get a Jekyll, of course. No, yo, that's it. That is 5 crafting done. Oh, we can finally train this skill. We can leave Chaos Druids. Got like 2 stir levels here. We are now 66 strength. I'm just so out of it. This is a monumental moment for the account. 5 crafting completed. We can finally train something else with the lamps, and I have something in mind, but that'll be for another episode. Before I end this episode, I said I would talk about herb lore and a weird discovery I made, which is probably one of the weirdest of the many. The key ingredient to training herb lore is the vial of water, which are obtainable from Chaos Druids, but you only get so many and they're pretty uncommon. Now there is a water source in Edgeville, which is the well. I could simply fill up my vials here and then bank them, but this would be gathering resources outside of the wilderness, and no matter how hard you look in the wilderness, there doesn't appear to be a water source on the map, and because this is Runescape, it would make too much sense if you could go to a fishing spot where there's a bunch of water and fill up your vial. Well, when you spend this much time in one area, you start to find stuff that you never expected, and I actually saw this a while ago when I was collecting steel plate legs here. There's actually this sink right here, and when you right click it, it says fill bucket. Like, what a weird option. You can't even buy a bucket or obtain one from the wilderness, so I found that pretty strange. I did test it on the unrestricted worlds, and yes, you can fill a vial of water here and a jug and a bowl, but the only thing we really care about is filling vials of water, which means that now we can actually get a consistent supply to train our herb lore level up for those high tier potions. I would also like to point out what might be the most useless web in the entire wilderness. Like, what is that? And there's also a furnace right beside this gold ore spawn. I've known of this stuff for a while, but before we use this area to its full potential, we're gonna have to get 15 smithing first. I'm really wondering why this wasn't indicated as a water supply on the minimap. I'm pretty sure the developers just forgot that it ever existed once they actually added a map to the game. just because it's such old content and who's actually using the water supply here. But yeah guys, I am going to cut this discovery episode off here. If you guys want to see another one of these, I'm pretty sure I'll just make one anyways in the future. Let me know, because there is so much more to talk about. I'm just going to focus on progressing the account for the next episode though, and we're going to take on some bosses that might be impossible until I find a way to kill them. The next discovery episode I make will focus on drop tables being unknown and a way to do hard clue scrolls if it's even possible, but I think I have a way of doing it because there is methods that other snowflakes have come up with. It's just my job to find what is the best method of obtaining hard clue scrolls, and I think I have that locked down. That's going to be it for this episode. I hope you guys learned something new, and I'll see you guys in the next one.